Many people think positive affirmations mean standing in front of a mirror saying, I am successful, I am powerful, I am confident. But here's the truth. Everyone already practices affirmations every day. Maybe positive affirmations are not magic ones. Maybe they are choices, daily choices, about which thoughts deserve repetition. This word is in my hand, keep talking at the same. You can do this and you can do that, so I take a little time. Today's adventure through human psychology and human nature, we'll be talking about positive affirmations. Imagine this, you wake up tomorrow morning, you look into the mirror, and suddenly every thought that you ever repeated to yourself for the last 5 years appears written across your walls. Every fear, insult, doubts, belief, I am not enough, I always fail, nobody notices me, I can never change. Now ask yourself this. Would you want to live in that room? Because in a way, you already do. Human beings live inside an environment of their own thoughts every single day. And the frightening part is this. Most people never consciously choose what enters that room. They simply repeat what life gives them, and eventually the mind begins believing it. There is an hidden truth about human nature. Human beings are storytellers, not just to others, to ourselves. Every person alive carries an invisible narrator, a voice constantly explaining reality, explaining failure, rejection, success, pain, and so on. The problem is that narrator is not always accurate. Sometimes it is built from criticism, from comparison, from fear, from painful experiences. And after years of repetition, thoughts becomes beliefs. Beliefs becomes habit, and habit becomes identity. From the book The Power of Positive Thinking by Norman Vincent Peale. He believed many people lose mentally before life defeats them physically, not because they lack ability, but because they repeat defeat before they even begin. And human nature is fascinating. Thousands of years, survival depends on danger detection. Humans who noticed threat survived. Humans who ignored danger often did it. So the brain learns something. Pay attention to negative things, which explains something interesting. 10 compliments, 1 insult, and somehow we remember the insult. 1 failure can feel larger than 10 victories, not because you're weak, because you're human. The brain naturally scans for what good it arches, but that survival system can accidentally become a prison because eventually fear stops protecting us and starts defining us. Many people think positive affirmations mean standing in front of a mirror saying, I am successful, I am powerful, I am confident. But here's the truth. Everyone already practices affirmations every day. Some simply don't realize it because every repeated sentence becomes practice. I always embarrass myself. I am ugly. I always ruin things. Nobody cares about me. Those are affirmations too. Negative affirmations, repetitions is powerful. Human nature trusts familiar voices, even harmful ones. Eventually, familiar thoughts stop feeling like opinions. They begin feeling like facts. Human beings absorb the environment. Social media, music, family, friends, comment, comparisons, repeated messages, and slowly, outside voices move inside. Someone criticizes you repeatedly. Eventually, you begin criticizing yourself. Someone labels you repeatedly. Eventually, you begin carry that label. Without realizing it, people often inherit beliefs they never chose, and then spend years calling them personality. And Norman Vincent Peale wrote that, change your thoughts and you change your world. Not because thoughts magically create reality, but because thoughts influence behavior. Behavior influences action, and action It influences direction. Direction influences life because human beings often move toward repeated beliefs. If someone repeatedly says, I am incapable, eventually efforts become harder, not because ability disappears, because the belief disappeared. Now, here is the important part. How do you actually change this? Or how do we actually change this practically? First of all, catch the invisible narrator. Pay attention to your internal conversations. Listen carefully. Would you speak to a friend the way you speak to yourself? Because many people say things to themselves they would never say to another human being. Awareness comes first. You cannot change your voice you never notice. Number 2, replace, don't just remove. Many people try saying, stop thinking negatively, but the mind dislikes empty spaces. Replace thoughts instead of, I always fail. Say, I am learning instead of, I am not enough. Say, I am growing instead of, I can't. Say, I can improve. Small changes, different directions. Number 3, counter environment. Human nature absorbs repetition. So protect what repeatedly enters your mind. The content you consume, the conversation you repeat, the people around you, because environment eventually becomes internal voices. Repeat intentionally. Affirmation feels strange at first because human nature trusts familiarity. Keep repeating health thoughts anyway, not because they instantly transform life, but because repetition builds belief, and belief influences behavior. Maybe positive affirmations are not magic ones. Maybe they are choices, daily choices, about which thoughts deserve repetition, because human beings slowly becomes stories they repeatedly tell themselves. And every day your mind is listening. The question is, what story are you teaching it? Believe in yourself. Have faith in your abilities. Always say final affirmations. I am growing. I am becoming. I can improve. My thoughts do not control me. I choose what I repeatedly believe. It's a narrator, Ben Sai. Make sure you subscribe, you like, you comment, and share to somebody. If this one helped you, share to someone. Let them get help as well. Thank you.